In this one, I'm going to be talking about my BrenTune ECU flash and my new exhaust. And I purposely put the bike this way so you can't see the exhaust just yet. Anyhow, I didn't upload a video just because of, July 4th. I was out busy all weekend and Monday on the 4th. So, without further ado, let's get into it. Alright guys, so to show you the exhaust, there it is right there. It's a Brock's Street Smart Series exhaust. I believe that's what it is, Street Smart, Street Series, something like that. And it says stupid fast on it. It's awesome. It's already getting nice and carboned up. Yeah, everything's black. Mid pipe, as you can tell, even the headers. I don't know if you can look in there, but even the header pipes, other than the flanges, are all a really nice powder coated flat black, and it's absolutely amazing. I love it. It's got a good exhaust note. I've also got a Sprint air filter in there from BrenTune, and they also send you a cable to reroute your intake air temperature sensor. So basically, you take this out, you take your dash out right there, you take this off, and you drill a little hole behind it, and it relocates your intake air temperature sensor right in there. Got my little handy dandy phone out. I don't know if you could see it, but it's right up in there. And what that does is since there's so much heat that comes off of these BMW motors, it heat soaks the sensor, and it actually draws back some of the power, so your power is not, it doesn't stay consistent basically. So here you can see I got the cable running through along the frame behind the wires, and it goes up through here and to the sensor. And all you do now for the 2010 to 2014 model, you can get a remote tuner. 2015, 2016 models, you actually have to send your ECU into them because of some type of encryption, I believe is what Chris with BrenTune said. So anyways, when you get your remote tuner, and I'll also take another video once when I get back home for you guys, you just take it, plug it in here, you go to tuning, download the map that you need, follow the instructions, and there you go, your bike's now tuned. Now I know some of you might have a question of, well, if it's not dyno tuned, how do they know how to tune it? Well, basically they have in-house, or a in-house double R. So they dynoed it with all the upgrades that they tell you to do, and they get the air fuel ratios, their timing tables, all that good stuff down, and then they are able to send you kind of like a base map off of their testing. Damn, those wheels are dirty. Anyhow, then if you choose, you could go to a dyno, have them dyno the bike, give them the air fuel ratios, and then they can adjust the maps for you as well. Now the nice thing about BrenTune, especially with the remote tuner, I can return the bike to stock with the stock map. I could put the 93 pump octane tuning map on there, and then I also have a race map for MR12 race fuel, which I got to build some money up for, because MR12 is not a cheap race fuel for that nature. Just like 650 Ebe calls it, I'll call it savage mode for this bike as well. Even though 650 Ebe's H2 is way more savage than this thing ever will be, unless I get a full $20,000 race motor in it. So anyways, let's do a quick startup. Now I hope the mic picks up at least half of what this exhaust sounds like, but I guarantee you it won't. So yeah, it sounds good. Sounds really good. I love it. I saw my... Oh, okay. Cool. That's just the outside. I thought that was getting loose. I was like, oh no. Alright guys, well, without further ado, let's get rolling. Alright, so let's talk about the throttle first of all. Because in Chase on Two Wheels video of his first ride on this bike, he was talking about how he doesn't like the fact that there's so much dampening to the throttle that it seems like he's asking a computer to go faster instead of just it being instant. Now with BrenTune's ECU flash for these motorcycles, the best part about it is that they get rid of that dampening basically, other than say like rain mode or sport mode. And you can also do a throttle calibration so that it's just instant. See, there was no hesitation. Even though I'm in a little bit higher of a gear, there's just no hesitation. It's just instant. Now consider I'm also in race mode as well, so that might play a factor into it as well. Where you see the most change with the ECU flashes is race mode and slick mode. That's where you're gonna see the full power of the BrenTuning ECU flash. Yay, corners! Gotta love it. Another thing is that when you get a super sport, normally these bikes are not known for low-end power. You know, they're known for their top-end power, anything past say like 8 to 10,000 RPMs. One of the biggest changes that I've seen with the BrenTuning ECU flash is the mid-end, basically the mid power range. You know, the power likes to come on now, I say around 6.5, and it just keeps pulling all the way to redline, which is a good thing because there's been instances since I flashed the ECU when I've been on the highway just cruising. You know, in 6th gear you're at around maybe 5. But even in 6th gear on the highway, which I'll show you guys here in a little bit, you could just, and it'll just pull. See, like there's 5, it just goes. There's a lot of good power, a lot of good usable power to it. So I'm very, very happy so far with the BrenTune ECU flash. I've had the bike flash for around about a month now, and I'm finally used to it. When I first got the ECU flashed, man, I couldn't go over like 10,000 RPMs on this thing without going, oh shit, I think I need to let off. The guys over at BrenTuning definitely know what they're doing with their tunes. You know, they're able to flash these ECUs and tune them so well without even having the bike there. I don't know how they do it. I don't want to know their secret because I'm not trying to start my own tuning company. I'll just leave it to the professionals at BrenTuning to keep tuning my BMWs. Every BMW that I've had so far, I've had them tune. I honestly think that their tune shines the best on the RR. When I had it tuned on the single R, I didn't have the air filter. I didn't have the full exhaust. I wasn't able to relocate the intake air temperature sensor. So it just did make a vast improvement over stock. You know, the only thing I had done to the single R was just the Akrapovic shorty slip-on. That was it. That's all I had done to that bike. Now with the RR, I've got the full exhaust, I've got the intake, or the drop-in air filter from Sprint, and I've got the intake air temperature sensor relocated. And all that together, along with their awesome tuning capabilities, has made a huge difference on the RR. You know, my K1300 or K1200S, sorry, I did notice a big difference as well, but I also didn't have a full exhaust either. I just had a slip-on. But one thing is nice is that with the BrenTune ECU flash, it smooths out the throttle. Not only does it make it instant, but it also smooths it out. You know, so when you get your roll-ons real nice, it just brings on the power, and it's not like what Chase said, where, you know, you go to hit it and then you're sitting there waiting for the computer to start doing all its calculations and then starts, you know, throwing you forward. So having the ECU flash makes me feel more comfortable, especially in corners where you have to be real smooth with it, because if the power comes on too quick in a corner, well, it's probably going to make up for a really messed up day, you know, low siding or whatever the case is. So but anyways, I'll see you guys on the highway. We're sitting here cruising at highway speeds at 5,000 RPMs in 6th gear. It just pulls. You know, between the exhaust, the pull, everything, this bike is just awesome. Let's see if I could do a quick pull for you guys so you can see what kind of power we're working with here. I can't keep saying good things about BrenTuning with these ECU flashes. They just know what they're doing. You know, when I first got on the bike after it being flashed, I was only used to stock power, and after everything that I did to it, along with everything that it was doing, you know, it's just amazing. It's just absolutely amazing. You know, the way it pulls, how easy it is to ride, it's just awesome. You know, I have no complaints. If anybody is around asking, hey, you know, I got a BMW S1000RR, depending on what year you have, what would you suggest to do? First thing, call this number. It's BrenTuning. Speak with Chris or any of the other gentlemen over there at BrenTuning, and they will give you the right direction to go. You know, I'm not going to put up pricing. Their prices, they could be running deals. Their prices are always changing. So it's very hard to be able to give you a price. Also, if you're a returning customer, if you've had previous bikes or even cars done from them, they give you even more of a discount. So make sure you give them a call, let them know that Wicked Moto sent you. Trust me, you will not be disappointed with your BrenTune ECU flash on your RR, or even any BMW bike for that matter. So I can't really compare them to anybody else because I haven't tried anybody else's tunes. So to compare them to, say, Alpha tuning or anything else of that nature, I can't. I will tell you this much, guys. I now know why I keep going back to BrenTuning. They just know what they're doing when it comes to these bikes. On top of that, their pricing is way cheaper and way more reasonable compared to some of these other guys. We'll go to 8,000 RPM. I mean, and that's with me as a bigger rider. The bike just shoots off. And on top of that, that exhaust just sounds amazing. I love hearing the exhaust at wide open throttle. Absolutely love it. I gotta calm down now. I only wanted to get a little bit crazy for the video for you guys and to show you what the BrenTuning ECU flash does. Now that I'm used to the bike, I wish I could get a little bit more power, but now we're starting to talk getting into the engine, you know, doing cams, even custom turbo kit, you know, if you want ridiculous power. But to be honest though, for what this bike is right now, I'm really happy. You know, the next biggest thing that I could do is to strap and lower it. That way I can actually shoot off in first gear. Because first gear, you know, with being a bigger rider, you got to remember with the weight transfer, it's throwing my weight back. And first gear is so torquey and it's so quick that it'll throw me into a power wheelie with no issues. It'll just come straight up. Now, of course, with the traction control on, it doesn't come up very far, but I don't want this thing to come up at all. You know, it's cool. Personally, I don't want to do wheelies. You know, it's cool to watch other people do them. You know, and I've only been riding now for just about a year. Okay, so I'm trying to stick within my limits of riding. You know, I'll leave the wheelies to the guys that have been riding a lot longer than I have, like Downshift 83 and Do It With Dickhead and you know, Yummy and Chase and Motonocity, and I don't think I've seen Walterific do any wheelies. I don't think I have. I don't know, but anyways, I'll leave it to all them, to all those guys and any of you that have been riding longer. I would much rather be safe than sorry. And I know you saw me do the pool, so I only wanted to do that once for you guys. Alright, here's my favorite corner. This is what I've been working on. Let me get into position here. This is what I've been working on, is doing my corners and hanging off. This bike is too much fun. I've got to get out to the track and not be stupid out on the road. But this bike is just a ton of fun. You know, and I thank you so much to the guys over at BrenTuning for doing the awesome work that you did. You guys just, I didn't think this bike could get any better than stock. And because of you guys, it's made it so much better than stock. Make sure my mic is still plugged in. Knowing my luck, I would have... that would suck. Knowing my luck, I would have had the mic unplugged and you wouldn't have seen any or heard anything. I would have had to do what Chase did for Yummy's first ride review. Well, Yummy's R6 first ride review. That sounded a little... Probably gonna have to edit that one out. So anyhow, guys, I'm gonna keep riding because it's a beautiful day and it's actually gonna storm in the next couple hours. So I'm gonna go ahead and get on out of here. I hope you guys had a happy 4th of July. I hope none of you got hurt with fireworks and getting into firework fights and all that stuff. Anyhow, I'll talk to you later, guys. Remember to stay wicked, always stay positive, and to keep doing you. And remember, excuse me, to never let anybody tell you that you can't do something, because you know damn well deep down in your heart that when you put your mind to it, you can do it. Alright guys, that's it for this one. I'll catch you next time. Later.